TechSme Innovation Hub, TechSme Innovation Hub IIT Dhanbad, sponsored by title sponsors Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology, platinum sponsors Dassault Systems, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited (ONGC), National Mineral Development Corporation (NMDC), gold sponsors JSW Mahanadi Coalfields (MCL), Western Coalfields Limited (WCL), silver sponsors Epiroc Mining India Limited, our gifting sponsors Webleybox and Engineers Parcel. I would like to extend my gratitude on behalf of the team towards all these esteemed sponsors who have contributed towards the continuation of rich legacy of Khanan Fest. Their generous contribution helped make our vision a reality, and we truly appreciate their generosity. Continuing the legacy of IIT ISM Dhanbad, the SME IIT ISM Student Chapters takes immense pleasure to announce this 6th edition of Khanan, the largest annual Geo-Mining Fest of India, organized by SME IIT ISM Student Chapter and Department of Mining Engineering IIT ISM Dhanbad. On starting on a glorious note, Khanan'21 comprises with a plethora of events ranging from quizzes to webinars and paper presentations. All these events aim to help the young minds of mining and allied fields to explore the innovation using the vast pool of knowledge. After the successful 5th edition of last year, I wish this virtual edition of Khanan reaches even greater heights than before. On this note, I would like to welcome all the honorable dignitaries who have joined through this online platform in the inauguration ceremony. Thank you all for joining. We are honored to have with us Shri Sunil Singh, Vice President Mines, JSW Steel Ltd, Shri Anirban Sen, Underground Business Manager, Asia Pacific and India, Epiroc Mining Limited, Shri Hari Narayan Pandey, Industry Process and Consultant Manager, Dassault Systems, Shri Ravi Arora, Head of Marketing and CSR, Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology India Private Limited. Distinguished guest, Mr. K. Madhusudan, President, MEAI, Mr. Hemant Kumar, Executive Director, NSCIL, to grace the occasion with their presence. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Shri Hemant Kumar sir for being in the advisory committee of Khanan'21. I would like this opportunity to thank our honorable director, sir, Professor Rajiv Shekhar, HOD Mining Engineering, Professor A.K. Mishra, Professor A.K. Mishra, HOD Mining Department, Professor Dheeraj Kumar, Faculty Advisor of SME IIT ISM Student Chapter. Our guest speakers for today, Mr. Abani R, Samal, International Advisor, SME India Section, Mr. Pritam Sinha, Chairman, SME India Section, respected professors and alumni of IIT ISM Dhanbad, and all other faculty members and students for their constant support and guidance through this journey. Hence, continuing with the ceremony, I honestly express my heartfelt gratitude and appreciation to all the guests of honor who have spared their valuable time and come here to address us all. So firstly, I would like to welcome Professor Dheeraj Kumar sir, Faculty Advisor of SME IIT ISM Student Chapter. So we would request you to start the enthralling event with your words of wisdom, thus enlightening us all over us. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shivendra, the President of IIT ISM SME Chapter. My distinguished guests from industry who are present in today's inaugural function. I am seeing a host of dignitaries. They are present. Shri Sunil ji, he is the alumnus of our institute, the Associate Vice President of JSW. Shri Anirban Sen is also our alumnus. He is the Underground Business Manager of Asia Pacific and India, Epiroc Mining. Shri Hari Narayan Pandey, he is also our alumnus. Presently, he is Industry Process Consultant at Dassault Systemes. Mr. Pritam Sinha, he is my own student and alumnus of this institute. He is presently chairperson at SME India Section. Dr. Amani Samal, I think he has joined. He is our international advisor and again alumnus of this institute. And we have Mr. Hemant Kumar, who is the advisory body of SME. The IIT ISM chapter, Mr. Ravi Arora ji, he is the chief guest of today's function. He is the corporate head of Sandvik Mining India Private Limited. And we have our own director, Professor Rajiv Shekhar ji, who is the patron of this SME IIT ISM Student Chapter. I think he has already joined or he will be joining shortly. Professor A.K. Mishra ji, he is our advisor of SME IIT ISM Student Chapter and he is head of Department of Mining Engineering. I welcome you all and welcome other dignitaries also who are present in today's function. I welcome all my students from all different institutions. I am seeing the students are from different institutions across the country, IIT Kharagpur and IIT Rourkela, Khyonjhar School of Mining, and other institutions who are basically offering mining and earth sciences disciplines. They all are present in today's function. I welcome you all to this inaugural function of Khanan'21, which is the 7th edition of Khanan, which got started in 2016. The very basic purpose of organizing Khanan under the umbrella of SME IIT ISM Chapter was to have a very good sort of connect between industry and academia. And we have been somehow successful in meeting the goal of this Khanan with the aim for which the Khanan was incepted in 2016. And I'm very happy to see that we have partners almost from all industrial sectors, may it be mining machinery sectors, may it be innovative mining industry sectors, hardcore mining sectors like we have NLC, NMDC, and coal industries, MCL, WCL, the oil and energy sector, ONGC, they all are our partners of this very mega tech fest of mining and geosciences disciplines, Khanan. And it has become a brand now in the Indian mining and energy sector. And I hope the pace will keep on continuing, and it will be a sort of future path guiding, it will be giving guidance to Indian mining and earth sciences student community. And it will provide a platform to all these students, budding engineers, so that they can have their innovative ideas put across on the different platforms, and they can learn a lot of things from their industry participations. So with these few words, I welcome you all to the inaugural function of Khanan'21, which will continue for 3 long days. We'll have the host of the events like industrial design, robotic design, paper meet, workshops, seminars, quizzes, and with your active sort of support, we will be again in Khanan 2021, we'll be meeting our objectives. With these few words, I once again welcome you all to this event. Yes, Shivendra, over to Shivendra.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a video from Mr. Bill Edgerton, sir, President of Society for Mining Metallurgy and Exploration. Unfortunately, he was unable to join the ceremony due to some technical issues. He has sent his recorded video for the presentation.
Good morning. This presentation is about the importance of minerals to clean energy. And my name is Bill Edgerton, and I'm the 2021 SME President. I'm currently the principal with Jacobs Associates in San Francisco, California, and I work in Washington, D.C. on a tunneling project for the Clean Rivers Project. I was the chair of the executive committee for the Underground Construction Association, and I was on the SME board of directors for 3 years. I also work as an ABET program evaluator for civil and construction engineering programs. In fact, I did one in India a couple of years ago. In 2008, I edited the Recommended Contract Practices for Underground Construction, which was published by SME. In 2012, I received the Golden Beaver Award for Engineering and have been inducted into the MOLS and to the National Academy of Construction. I hold a BS degree in civil engineering from Tufts University and an MBA in procurement and contracting from George Washington University in Washington, D.C. I also hold professional engineer licenses in 5 states. So this morning, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the SME strategic plan that we created in 2020. Our vision is to be the premier community building a better world through mining, metallurgy, and underground construction. That's our vision. That's where we want to go. Our mission is to serve the mining resources and underground construction communities for a sustainable future. And the mission really is how we're going to get there. So where we want to go and how we want to get there. So when we created the strategic plan back in 2020, we identified 4 strategic goals. And I just thought I'd go over those goals because they form the framework for what I want to talk about today. The first goal is association growth, where SME will lead in amalgamating the community to build a better world. And this is really all about increasing partnerships with other associations, increasing the dissemination of best practices, including opportunities for enhancing inclusion and diversity, and improving engagement opportunities for our members. The second strategic goal is related to environmental stewardship, where we want to be recognized as a society which provides the premier resource for information on responsible mining and underground construction practices by increasing the compilation, availability, and accessibility to existing information about responsible mining practices, maintaining the development of technical briefing papers, increasing knowledge transfer of particularly tailings storage stewardship, and promoting the publishing of peer-reviewed papers on successes and best practices. And we have two other strategic goals. One, industry workforce, where we want to make sure that the mining, metallurgy, exploration, and underground construction areas are careers of choice. And we would like to stabilize academic program capacity, share best practices for recruiting a professional workforce, assist employers in attracting and maintaining that quality workforce, exploring ways to retain an early career workforce, and recognize and support changing professional development needs. And then the last strategic goal is industry innovation, where SME will be known as the venue of first choice for disseminating research leading to innovation and encouraging its applications in mining and underground construction. And our objectives are to expand opportunities to disseminate and present innovative research, to encourage the application of innovation research results, and to stimulate innovation by learning from setbacks. And I guess I'd like to go into industry innovation a little bit more. Why really are we talking about industry innovation? Well, some of the external trends that we see in the mining and underground construction industry include the increased use of data and decision-making and changing workforce skills. And this increased data has resulted in an increase in automation and artificial intelligence that we see on many of our projects nowadays. These technological advances could and are outpacing both regulation and legislation, and they could create barriers to the entry of new technologies. Many of these changes will require adjustments, both in operational standards and in certifications. And SME is clearly the professional society best suited to provide this guidance and make the application of new technologies a lot more efficient than it is today. But perhaps even more important than new methods, as the environment we live in changes, the need for minerals and mining changes as well. These changes can significantly increase demand for our products. And one example is clean energy. And that generally requires a lot more minerals to build, specifically for solar photovoltaic plants, wind farms, and electric vehicles, which we can talk about a little bit more here as we go on. Our nation and many nations runs on energy. The economic growth, prosperity, and national security hinges on access to adequate, environmentally sound, and sustainable energy. Vital to the achievement of this goal is access to minerals that are essential to the manufacture of both traditional as well as renewable energy technologies. And this requires increasing the capacity of mineral producers to meet this demand while reducing dependence on imports of these materials from nations whose interests may not be the same as ours. Clean energy technologies require minerals. An energy system powered by clean energy technologies differs profoundly from one fueled by hydrocarbon resources such as coal, natural gas, diesel fuel, and gasoline. Photovoltaic plants, wind farms, and electric vehicles generally require more minerals to build than their fossil fuel-based counterparts. For instance, a typical electric car requires 6 times the mineral inputs of a conventional car, and onshore wind plant requires 9 times more mineral resources than a gas-fired plant. Since 2010, the average amount of minerals needed for a new unit of power generation capacity has increased by about 20% as the share of renewables in generating power has risen. And that's shown on this chart here, where 2020, we're looking at 21% of energy generated by renewables. And the forecast for 2050 is 42% of it will be generated by renewables. So this is a significant impact or increase. And most of that increase is done by wind and solar. They're responsible for most of that growth. By 2030, the renewables will collectively surpass natural gas to be the predominant source of generation in the United States. Solar electric generation will surpass wind energy by 2040 as the largest source of renewables. And the World Bank has predicted that global wind capacity will triple and solar capacity will quintuple by 2050. And all of this is going to require a substantial increase in the use of minerals. Let's take a look at wind farms. A single 3 megawatt wind turbine requires 335 tons of steel, almost 5 tons of copper, 3 tons of aluminum, 2 tons of rare earths, and 1,200 tons of concrete. And rare earth elements on which we're highly import dependent enables use of lighter, smaller generators in wind turbines. And on the solar side, a single solar panel requires 70% glass, 10% polymer, 7% aluminum, 4% silicon, and 1% copper. And gold and silver are essential to increasing photovoltaic energy efficiency in solar panels, just to name a couple of minerals. So let's talk a little bit about electric vehicles. Clean energy technology for electric vehicles will also require a substantial increase in the use of minerals from domestic mining operations. The National Mining Association reports that electric vehicles will increase copper demand from 185,000 tons to almost 2 million tons by 2027. That's a 10-fold increase. And this is in addition to the copper used in renewable power generation stations, which currently use 8 to 10 times more copper than traditional power generators. From charging stations to the coils that drive the engines, copper is an increasingly important part of the cycle of electric vehicle manufacture and use. And then there's storage, batteries. The energy sector's demand for minerals could grow by 6 times by 2040, according to National Mining Association on the battery side. The demand for nickel, cobalt, and lithium, all used in batteries, will grow by from 70 to 90%. So electric vehicles and battery storage are going to account for about half of the mineral demand growth from clean energy technologies over the next 2 decades, spurred by surging demand for battery minerals. And these examples just illustrate how innovation can have a major impact upon the health of our mining industry. So back to the industry innovation in our strategic plan. That's the background. But not only because SME serves to disseminate research on new methods, but more importantly, to help our members recognize that the changes that this innovation has in all areas has upon our industry. So we had a board of directors meeting about a month ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we talked at the board meeting about how will SME as a society be affected by the green economy? In particular, what products will be affected, which will have increased demands, which will have decreased demands? How are mining and minerals affected by this change in products? And we asked ourselves, what parts of our society are going to be affected by this? The divisions, the strategic committees, the standing committees, the sections, the student sections, membership programming, how will we be affected? So I just want to report out what came out of that meeting at our board of directors meeting. Some of the feedback we received were related to renewable resources. A green economy is inevitable, but the question is, how will we grow the needed resources for this? In some cases, there may be artificial incentives to build renewables that are just not sustainable or achievable under the current system. We have to recognize that. Then there's the availability of the minerals. Well, the US is not a leader in mining, processing, and manufacturing many products, which places the US in a vulnerable position. The US does not have necessary mines or infrastructure to meet the demand, and it's difficult to build new mines to access resources due to regulatory processes and procedures, and basically it takes a long time. And so there's probably going to be an interim period between when the minerals are needed and when they're available. And we have to give consideration to how other countries could be leveraged and or incentivized to provide these resources. And then there's the question of the supply chains. How is the US going to acquire this needed energy for a green economy when adequate supply chains are not in place? And not only the adequacy of those supply chains, but the security of them as well. Some other feedback we received is that some data has suggested that the world itself cannot be decarbonized at the rate that we'd like to decarbonize it without nuclear energy. Uranium is a needed resource, and a focus really should be made on nuclear power if we're going to decarbonize to any reasonable extent. Then there's the perception of mining. Focus on green energy can naturally lead to a better perception of mining and lead more students to pursue a career in the industry. Gaining support of public and social influencers to help promote a focus of green energy, that's going to be required and necessary. And regulatory and permitting actions are driven by people and perception more so than by political leanings, despite what the politicians think. And as far as influencing change is concerned, SME cannot promote legislation. In the United States, we're a 501c3 association, which basically means we're a nonprofit that is not allowed by tax law to lobby Congress or lobby for legislation. But we can put a positive angle on it, especially toward younger members. And so that's what we concluded at our board meeting. And we didn't solve all these problems, of course. We just identified what those problems are so that we can start thinking about ways to deal with them. And I do want to talk a little bit about the importance of youth. I've mentioned youth above a couple of times in this presentation, even going back as far as workforce. At SME, we pride ourselves on our focus on youth. There are currently 81 student sections, actually a couple more now, I think, more being added every year. We have sponsored the development of the Mining and Society Merit Badge for scouting. We provide about $1.3 million US in scholarships every year. And the Young Leaders Group is active in providing mentoring and coaching sessions and webinars directed at youth members. The SME board has even recognized the importance of young leaders' input to the key governance decisions we've developed an internship program which puts a non-voting young member on the board of directors. And that's currently in place. But what we're doing is not enough. At the Mine Expo conference, which was held in Las Vegas about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, we heard a panel of industry CEOs talk about how critical it will be for mining and equipment firms to incorporate more youth into our industry. Our younger workers, they want to do more than just earn a livelihood. They want to use their lives, even their working lives, to make a difference in the world. The current technology really is so advanced that it requires a workforce who can embrace automation and artificial intelligence. And we use autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles. They're going to be a game changer in the advancement, especially of mine productivity as well as safety. So it's not going to be like the field of dreams. It's not going to be like if you build it, they will come. We need to invest in education, both at the university and the technical college level. The skill sets that we need today are changing from those of the past. Our recruitment methods, our solicitation of interest in working in the mining and underground construction, the selling of our industry. Actually, we need nothing less than a revolution. We need to change the perception of what it means to work in the day in the mines. Nobody wants to work 6 or 7 days a week for their entire life in a remote location with limited access to cultural experiences for themselves. Flexibility in working conditions, even being able to work remotely, has become a major factor in attracting workforce. Our outreach must extend not only to the mining schools, where students have already decided that they want to work in our industry, but also to youth earlier in the education system, the middle schools, the high schools, and importantly to the public at large, the parents, the regulators, and indeed the general public. We really need to demonstrate that working in our industry is something that really does matter to the benefit of society at large. So in summary, really, we have made some small steps down this road, but the speed that the world is changing will force us to increase our pace. So let's try to get even more than our 10,000 steps a day as we advance the acceptance and the perception of our industry. Thank you very much for your attendance. Have a great conference. Good.
Now I invite Shri Ravi Arora sir to kindly share his experience. He is the head of marketing and CSR, Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology India Ltd.
Hope I'm audible.
Sir.
Morning, everyone. Hope you guys have been able to hear me. Can somebody confirm that I'm audible or not?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you so much. So morning once again, and first of all, let me just introduce myself. My name is Ravi Arora, and I actually lead the marketing and CSR function for Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology India Private Limited. First of all, I hope you all are safe and healthy, because we have had a very challenging time last few months, and I hope everybody is safe, healthy, and you're all near and dear ones are fit and fine. Well, for me, I think it's an honor to be part of this event. I think this is the third time I've been part of this event. The first one which I attended was way back in 2019, when it was done at ISM campus, and I was invited over there. I was physically present during that event, and now I think this is the third time I've been part of this event. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would say Professor Shekhar, Professor Dheeraj, Professor Mishra, and the entire student chapter for giving me an opportunity to be part of this event. In fact, my compliments to all of you, because despite all odds, you have been continuing with this trend, and you've been organizing this event despite we had all other challenges. So I think a big round of applause to all of you. So I think being here today and interacting with these budding engineers and innovators for tomorrow, I would say, I think a bit of nostalgia for people like me who have come from the engineering background. It takes me back to my engineering days. So whenever an opportunity to interact with students, I think it always takes you back to your engineering days. So yes, of course, it's always a pleasure. Meeting students, interacting, you hear about their dreams, their futuristic plans. So it's always a pleasure. When I look at Sandvik, I think one thing I would definitely like to share with you, that Sandvik has a special bond with IIT ISM. Having said that, in fact, a lot of my colleagues, my subordinates, they are the alumni of ISM. I think so. It's always a pleasure working with these my subordinates, my colleagues who are actually from this prestigious institute. And in fact, I hope that this number is going to grow in the coming future. I think if we look at today, when we talk about mining engineering and the mining sector per se, I think two, three things definitely I would like to share with all of you today. I'll take this opportunity to share with you that when we talk about the mining as a sector, of course, Mr. Bill also did talk a bit about some of the things related to mining industry. But let me tell you one thing, that the way the infrastructure sector is growing, the way the central government, the state governments, they are putting in a lot of efforts, and investments are coming in the infrastructure. The government has a national infrastructure pipeline. They've been planning to invest $1.4 trillion. So there is a tremendous potential. There is a tremendous growth which is going to happen. And if you even look at it today, I think mining industry is growing like anything. So a lot of potential for the mining engineering students going forward. But at the same time, I think the responsibility also comes to all of you. When we talk about this sector, is I think no more a labor-intensive sector. I would say. I think a lot of innovation is happening in this sector. So two things for sure: one, automation and artificial intelligence. I think. In fact, Sandvik also has big time solutions for the underground and surface mining when we talk about artificial intelligence and automation for the mining equipment which are being used underground as well as at the surface. So you have machines working, I would say, autonomous. At the surface, you have a mine control room, and from there you can really control the machines which are working underground. So that kind of technology is now available even in India as well. And I feel proud to share with you that Sandvik is one of the leading manufacturer and innovators, in this kind of technology. So automation and artificial intelligence is one thing which, of course, I think has been playing a big role when we talk about mining as a sector. Other thing for sure, which I would like to share with you, that at the same time, the way the mining industry is growing, what is really important is we are actually becoming more and more sensitive and responsible also to the environment, to the community, because so this is one thing which you cannot stop. It is the need of the hour, but at the same time you have to strike a balance. You have to create an ecological balance also. So the way things are really gearing up in automobile sector, I think we've been seeing potential and growth in the mining sector also, when we talk about bringing in the technology which is like helping to take care of the environment as well. I'm talking about reduction in carbon footprints. Decarbonization is one thing which is like being talked about at a global level across. And again, I think we have now technologies like the battery electric vehicles, which are now being, in fact, again, I feel proud to share that Sandvik has already introduced this kind of machinery, the battery electric vehicle for the mining sector. So, I mean, these are the things I would say have a lot of potential for you as a student today, and for tomorrow, you would have a lot of potential to work on these kind of technologies. So it's no more that traditional way of mining which is happening. We have been growing like anything, and I'm sure you all guys would have a lot of potential and a promising career going forward when we talk about mining as a sector. So I think to me, you are the budding engineers, you are the innovators for tomorrow. So I think the only thing what is really important is you have to be clear about your goal. Stay focused, work hard. I think you would be able to achieve your dreams for sure. So with this, I think thank you very much for inviting me again, and thank you very much for hearing me out today. I think for you guys, next 3 days are gonna be full of fun, though it is of course at a virtual platform, but I'm sure you would have a lot of fun and entertainment going forward, and of course the learning as well. And at the same time, a bit of networking with the other students from the other institutes. I think they also are part of this event. So I wish you all the luck. Have a good time next 3 days, and a good festive season for all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have with us Shri Sunil Singh, sir, Vice President Mines of JSW Steel Ltd and an alumnus of IIT ISM Dhanbad. I request sir to kindly share his thoughts and experience.
Hi, this is Sunil Singh. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Distinguished guests, faculty members, and dear students, a very good morning and happy Navratri to you all. I think I'm getting a bit emotional and nostalgic being amongst you all, because my memory of ISM Dhanbad, I think it is getting refreshed, and I'm feeling that I have reached back to the campus after maybe last I visited in 2013 in our Silver Jubilee Basant. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to be here and have the opportunity to speak to you. I'm delighted to be part of this Khanan' Tech Fest hosted by my alma mater, from where I graduated in the year 1988. Having served as mining professional for more than 3 decades with companies like Tata, Rio Tinto, presently leading the mining business team of JSW Steel at Karnataka. To share a bit of history, this great knowledge center, IIT ISM, takes pride in its existence before the advent of ITS, before India sent a man in space, before India became self-reliant in food, and even before Nehru made his famous tryst with the Destiny speech at the dawn of Indian independence. Dear friends, on 9th December 1926 at Dhanbad, ISM was inaugurated as an institution modeled along the lines of Royal School of Mines, England. Eventually, it broadened its sphere to become a premier institute of earth sciences and engineering. Finally, in year 2016, ISM was officially converted into IIT, still holding on its proud legacy of ISM in brackets. One can spot unique bonding of ISMites and how jealously they react to the nostalgic words like Ramdhani, Mani Dosa, Kumar Talkies, Puja Talkies, etc., 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 and the list goes on. Friends, agriculture and mining and basic industries, thing which cannot be produced has to be mined. Unlike other industries, mining is site-specific, not confined to boundary walls. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
I think there's some technical glitch somewhere.
No, we can hear you.
Okay. Just a minute. I think there's some network issue here. I'll just bear with me.
But your video and voice is clear this side.
Okay. So what I said, mining is site-specific and not confined to boundary walls, unlike other industries. Therefore, should be inclusive, safe, scientific, has to be culturally aware, socially acceptable, and environmentally responsible. Sustainable mining is going to be a buzzword. Mining is one of the few industries that emerged from the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic economic crisis in excellent financial and operational shape now. In fact, 2020 was a banner year for the mining sector, and things are expected to be even better in coming times. As you may be aware, the world is in the midst of an era-defining transition to a low-carbon, sustainable economy. making environmental, social, and governance, in short, ECG, issues the core of organizational strategy, gives big miners a compelling path to build trust, grow, produce sustained outcomes, overcome the social trust deficit. Coming years will witness more innovation, digital transformation in this industry. Several top mining companies have emphasized hiring and training digital talent. Friends, new mineral policy, as you may be aware, has focused on improved mineral exploration, sustainability, ease of doing business, transparent grant of mineral concessions through e-auction, security of tenure, upskilling IBM estate directorates governing mining and geology sector, e-governance, satellite remote sensing application, end-to-end accounting of mineral ore in the supply chain with use of IT-enabled system. Development of human resource shall be the mainstay to improve the competitive edge of the national mining industry with a focus on improved gender balance. Now you may be aware there has been a legislative change to allow females in the active mining sector. That's a path-breaking, I would say, initiative. When we were students, we could not find a single female in the campus. That was the situation. So there's a lot of transformation you can witness now. As the mining sector takes off, the country will need more and more mining engineers, environmental engineers, geoscientists, and IT professionals. Therefore, dear students, you have lots and lots of opportunity to serve this industry and be part of ambitious national mineral growth journey. Unlike other industries, mining needs more of leadership capabilities, competencies to deal with key stakeholders, to ensure inclusive growth. We can't create oases of prosperity in the desert of poverty. Mind it, this is very important for the mining engineers and the geoscientists, because you have to work very closely with the community and the stakeholders. In fact, community has the first right on the natural resources we extract. Dear young minds, please do not treat mining only as a profession, but passion. Each one of you are highly capable and competent. I'm dead sure. I would say realize your potential, make yourself proud, make this country proud. So best of luck with whatever you want to do in life. But as I said, please go ahead and do what you love to do. Do it with crazy amount of passion, I would say. Dear audience, soon IIT ISM is going to celebrate its centenary anniversary. I wish our alma mater glorious years ahead. Last but not the least, I congratulate Khanan organizer for this noble initiative and wish the technical convention a resounding success. I also bow my head for the dedicated faculty team for shaping these young minds. Thanking you and giving me this privilege, and wish you all a very safe, healthy, prosperous years ahead. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Now I invite Shri Anirban Sen, sir, to kindly share a few words of wisdom. The underground business manager of Asia Pacific region and India, Epiroc Mining India Ltd, and an alumnus of IIT ISM Dhanbad.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Okay, as you know, my name is Anirban Sen. I'm currently working as underground business manager for Asia Pacific and India for underground drilling business or underground division in Epiroc. First of all, thanks for giving me this opportunity to be part of this inaugural ceremony of Khanan'21. It's always great to connect with my alma mater. As I am a pass out of 1992, and I have joined that time Atlas Copco straight from the college. Of course, the company didn't come to the college. I went to their to their office, and it was like a forced interview. And I'm continuing with the same company, which is known as Epiroc. Epiroc is basically the construction and mining wing of Atlas Copco, which has separated out from the group and has formed their independent identity. So that's brief about me and Epiroc. And as I understand from various discussions and the brochure of Khanan'21, that it's a nice comprehensive event covering the current technological changes and also give a chance to the students to collaborate and interact with industry experts. As you may have heard or have seen, mining both underground and surface have seen a quantum leap in technology changes. Gone are the days of pneumatics. Now it's a time for automation and electrification. AI or artificial intelligence is occupying a substantial space in the mining industry, where the mine operators are continuously looking for data for analysis and tracking performance. Trained or knowledgeable manpower is also becoming a scarce commodity in India, while quantity is available, but quality is not available. So this is leading to the introduction of automation or autonomous machines in mining, and the trend is more towards life work elimination. Talking about life work elimination, the safety consciousness in Indian mines are also taking the right space. We have become very safety conscious, and our attitudes towards safety has really improved a lot. A safe mine is considered to be one when the miners walking return home safe. And this is leading to electrification, especially in underground mines. So a lot of things are happening, and there are loads of opportunities available in the mining industry. And hope with events such as Khanan, it would tinkle the gray cells of the students, and they would align themselves in bringing new innovative solutions for mining. I wish you all, as well as the event, a great success. Thank you, and wish you a very happy festive session ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have with us Shri Hari Narayan Pandey, sir. He is the Industry Process Consultant Manager of Dassault Systemes and is an alumnus of IIT ISM Dhanbad. I request sir to kindly enlighten us with a few words.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, all of you, and especially all distinguished guests here, and my professors who taught me. Because of that, I'm here, and all my lovely juniors over there. So I'm just introduce myself. I'm a Khanan' Pandey, graduated 2007 from. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I graduated from Indian School of Mines 2007, and from that space I worked for the Tata Consulting Engineers, and then I am switched over to Dassault System, and last 7 years I am with the Dassault System. Yeah, all my previous speakers told about the changing scenario in the mining industry. Yeah, definitely. If you look the changing scenario in the mining is really transforming these days. Like just if you take the example, earlier people used to, if you go in the field, used to manage the counting of the dumpers and etc. Now, if you look at the changes, it totally replaced by the fleet management system. They are totally relying on the fleet management system. You are sitting in your office and you are getting all sorts of information, what you need to maintain the production and all. Similarly, if you come into the drill and blasting space, earlier, again, it's people used to do the manual kind of thing that is this much of spacing, this much of burden. Now the technology has been changed. Now artificial intelligence has come into the picture, and people are using prior to blasting this technology to simulate not only the blasting performance in terms of the what is the fragmentation size, how much with the explosive consumption and all, and the prediction is almost very near to real. Second one, if you look at the transformation stage, like now earlier people used to move around the mine and all. Now they are keeping a digital twin of the mine, where in this digital twin of the mine is a just replica of the whatever the physical mine in your office, and from there you are controlling the whole things. So mining has been changing a lot, yeah, and it is also going to change very drastically. And the similar fashion, what I see that the course structures and what is the thing is happening is also going to change, and SM is adapting like anything. So these are the changes it's going to happen. Apart from that, the topic what I have given to me to speak on that, that is on the blending optimization. I will start with that. So I will not take much time on that. So I'm unable to share my screen. Can somebody enable me?
Done, sir.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
Hello.
Done, sir. Done.
Okay, great. So I will take the brief topic similar what is the digital transformation is happening on the blending optimizations. Yep. So in this blending optimization, just I will brief you about my company Dassault Systems. So this Dassault Systems globe, and our office is at the France, Bellevue. We have a total 4.5 billion of revenue, and we have the 12,260 partners, and we are working globally and 290,000 customers globally. So if you look at our headquarters, I mentioned that is in the Paris, and American office is at the Boston, and Asia Oceania office at Shanghai. We have total 69 R&D labs, 188 3DS offices. The picture. So if you look at the Dassault system, it started in 1981 with the 3D design where CAD softwares and others are coming. Power cell. Then we started with the digital mock-up, and then it's a 3D PLM product like safety management. And now it or aircraft digital twin of your human mining industry. Yeah, it's a digital twin of your mind. If you look at our purposes, Dassault system provides the business and people with the 3D experience in versus to imagine the sustainable and innovation capable of harmonizing product, nature, and life. So sustainability is in our part of our DNA, where whatever the solution or etc. we create, that that should be sustainable. So this is our core of the DNA. Now, if you look at our different industry to whom we cater, so there are 11 industry we cater. Is to start from the transport, mobility, aerospace, defense, natural resources. So, and these are the brand. So if you look at the blending in the mining, so it talks about the mixing of various kind of materials, raw materials, and giving a desired product for the industry. So these are on the left hand side. If you go into the mine, you will get the different kind of material, low grade, high grade, and apply the certain amount of target. And if you go into the mine, you will find that most of the people are finding challenges in those areas. So plant people will be complaining about the mine people will be complaining about the plant people. So where we will get this blending scenario in the mining? One is the face blending, where we are combining different kind of excavator for the different material and sending the blended product. If you are coming to the dispatch section, where we are also blending the material to meet the customer requirement, if we are selling this product to the directly to the market. And if it is a captive miners, they are sending this product to their plant to meet the plant requirement. So these are the three scenarios where we need the blending. The cement industry, intensive industry, where we monitor the targeted quality of the product in the plant, like in making the clinker, like lime saturation factor, silica modulus, alumina modulus. So, and these are very specific, and their tolerance ranges are also very very near in range, so that you have to maintain those all those things. So similar fashion, if you come to the steel industry, here also you have a targeted parameter that like that for different steel plant, there can be different kind of parameter, like your Fe percentage should not be less than 58, or your alumina silica ratio should not be greater than 1.5, and your sulfur content should be less than that. So how to get all those targeted parameters? Because if you go in your mind, you will be getting the your ore distribution in the normally distributed or log normal distributed or positively skewed distribution. So all kind of distribution is there, but you have to achieve this targeted material. So this is the same case. So if you go for in the any kind of mineral industry, you will find these challenges are there. If you come into the thermal industry, you are looking for a specific kind of GCV, but you are getting the different kind of GCV from different of the same. So how to blend these material and to get the targeted quality? So in order to do that, we finding very peculiar challenges. Because most of the time, if you in the beginning, I told you the challenges are because this blending takes place mostly at the three places, and all the three places people are maintaining different kind of a spreadsheet, and they are meeting the target. And when they are doing this kind of a spreadsheet, these spreadsheets are giving the suboptimal result in terms of the quantity and in terms of the cost both. Because when they are targeting that I should meet this target, whether I am mixing the right kind of material with the right kind of cost, so that my target should be also achieved and my cost should be also minimized. So all those things, these spreadsheets doesn't deal with that. Again, when we are talking about the blending, all these individuals are working in the silo in their own domain. So these processes are not integrated. So there is not a complete view of all those things. Again, if you look at the different kind of industries, so they are looking at different kind of chemistry for each of these, and there is a very sheer complexity to achieve those targeted. So if you are targeting one radicals, yeah, you are achieving one radical, but second radical you are not getting. So there is a very complex thing and people puzzle with that. So in order to achieve these challenges, Dassault System provides a solution that's called the blending solution. What it does, it take all kind of material what you are having and blend in the different scenario and automate all those process. So it has the various kind of algorithm based on that. It automates all those process and give you the optimal results. So these optimal results will, what it covers, it will give you the targeted quality as well as with the minimal cost. So these are the things its solution it will provide. So this is the setup of that product, that where it will consume or all the materials, whatever your mine are having, whatever the stockpile you are maintaining, and then there's your optimization engine. So if you click that, so once you set up this, it will give you that what is your targeted quality as well as the what will your various kind of cost, and it will give which one will be the scenario where you will get the minimal cost with the targeted quality. So this is the basic setup. So you can give the chemistry formulation, you can add the phase blending scenario, you can add the dispatch blending scenario, and there is a plant blending scenario. So all those scenarios can be put at the single place, and you will get a complete view in which fashion, in which ratio these materials should be blended with each other. So what the benefit you will get, as I mentioned, you will get a desired quality of the material what you are targeting for, and the time is very short because this is automated in the nature and it uses its own algorithm. And it will also optimize its cost. So you are incurring the bare minimal cost. So again, here you will be getting the full process integration from mine to the plant. And in this process, what happens, we are taking care of the mineral conservation too. So when we are blending the material in the right proportion, so we are increasing the mine life, because we are not wasting the material and we are not putting this material as a subgrade stockpile that is pending. So if you go in the iron industry, you will find many kind of subgrade ores are lying over there. So this, if we are utilizing these subgrade ores, we are increasing the life of the mine. So these are the very basic and very optimal benefits you are getting from this solution. And this solution is available on premise and as well as on the cloud. So this is the solution which deals with all kind of blending optimization in the mine. So if time permits, I can show you a case study. So do I have time for next 5 minutes or 10 minutes? Hello? Or am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? No.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
So
Yes, sir.
can we go through a case study, or do we have time?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, great.
Hari,
Yeah.
we have international guests waiting for their turn, so it will be better if we can conclude by now, so that sometime later, we can have the case study presentation.
Okay. Okay. I thought that this is the session where we are. Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. So with these words, I will conclude here. So if any question or anything is there, we will let me know. We can revert back. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Pritam Sinha, sir, who is the chairperson of SME India Section and an alumnus of IIT ISM Dhanbad, to kindly share a few words.
Shivendra, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sorry for the inconvenience. So I have been allotted 10 minutes. So already time is getting delay. I will concise in shorter way. So first of all, most respected Professor Rajiv Shekhar, sir, Director, IIT ISM Dhanbad. Professor A.K. Mishra, sir, Head of the Department of Mining Engineering, IIT ISM Dhanbad. Professor Dheeraj Kumar, sir, and he is currently the faculty advisor of SME IIT ISM chapter, and he is constantly supporting the chapter since the year 2017. We have with us Professor and Dr. Abani R, Samal, sir, who is the industrial advisor of section, and he is also tremendously supporting the chapter and section in India. I can see on the screen other faculties who has taught us: Professor V.M.S.R. Murthy, sir, Professor Dr. B.S. Chaudhary, sir, D.P. Mishra, sir. It is very difficult to name all of you, sir. So on behalf of section, please accept my apology if I miss any one of you. We have with us other dignitaries. I'm not mentioning the name. Dignitaries from the mining industries. Already Shivendra has noted the name, so I'm not repeating the same, sir. First of all, on behalf of the SME India section, I welcome all of you. I must gratitude my thanks to President of the chapter Shivendra Acharya, then Vice President Ms. Anjali, Secretary and all the office bearer for taking this effort to conduct this program even in this COVID pandemic. So once again, Shivendra, thank you to you and all of your team. It's indeed a great effort that even in this pandemic, you have taken the keen interest in conducting this event. I will present my thoughts through a presentation in very short manner. Please allow me to share the screen. Shivan, can you please confirm if my presentation is visible
Yes,
to
sir.
you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Okay. So before starting the presentation, I must thank all the SME members in India who has taken keen interest in the fest, and also he has renewed their membership for SME. Already we have different sessions, what are the benefits of SME in India and basically in the college level. So I must thanks to all the participants. I have been informed that apart from the ISM student chapter, there are members from reputed institution, IIT Kharagpur, IIT BHU and IIT Raipur, Rourkela, then from other colleges also, GSC Quinjer, IIT Mishra, IIT Sidri. So before going, this was the fest which was first inaugurated in 2017, and I was honored to be the part of this fest. In that year 2017, Khanan was sponsored with SME with some technical resources and with the Association of Department of Mining Engineering, IIT ISM Dhanbad. So these are some glimpses of Khanan. We started in the year 2016 and it was an excellent event. In the next, we conducted in the year 2017. This was also achieved the benchmarks and several milestones we achieved.
Wait, can you please mute everyone else?
Am I audible to you, Shivan?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, you are audible, Pritam.
Okay, okay, sure. So this is the Khanan 17. You can see Professor V.M.S.R. Murthy and Professor Dheeraj Kumar on this screen who were instrumentally supporting. I think Professor Mishra was out of station that time, because before that he has also supported in all possible ways to the student members. And more than support, I must say on this platform that they motivated to students. I personally believe if there is only the involvement of faculty or department or the institution, that is not going to help in such a festival. It was the motivation to all the students. So we were able to conduct this fest and still we are going on. So this you can see the Khanan'18, we moved from GJLT to Penman Auditorium because of this crowd. But again, you can see Khanan'20 because of COVID pandemic, we have to conduct this in virtual mode. You can see on the screen Professor Rajiv Shekhar sir and other dignitaries. So this was the first event due to COVID pandemic. We have to conduct in this model, virtual model. This year I had discussion with President Shivendra Acharya that we can conduct in hybrid mode, but keeping the institution protocol and the current scenario, they are going to conduct in virtual mode only. So I believe next year, if we are all COVID free, definitely we will be conducting in physical mode and we will achieve all the further benchmarks. So going ahead for the SME India section, most of you are aware that SME is Society for Mining, Metallurgy and Exploration with its headquarters in Colorado, USA. So already I briefed this short info to all the new members that section roles and chapters roles. So basically on the screen, you can see globally there are 77 student chapters of SME and 48 sections. However, in India, there are 7 student chapters and 1 section, that is SME India section. So basically the purpose of chapter is to monitor the activities at the college level with the maximum participation of student members, SME members. But however, section has been made to make a bridge to bridge the gap of industry and academic. So in section, we must have to be the professional member of SME. A student member cannot be the directly part of the section in office bearer role. After graduation, definitely with the good background, they can take part in the section. So this is the basic role of section and student chapters. So this is the status of India section and the student chapters. So I feel proud to inform you that IIT ISM student chapter is one of the most vibrant chapter with having more than 60 student members, with having the student membership of SME. Apart from this, we have IIT Kharagpur, IIT BHU, IST Sibpur, UPSC Dehradun. Recently, through student chapter, I was able to attend the inaugural ceremony and I guided them with all the support of team. So that is National Institute of Technology Raipur, NIT Raipur and BIT Sindri. Both of them colleges have recently established the chapter, and this NIT Rourkela, I am in touch with their HOD and director, and they are framing the bylaws, and they have planned that after there is some relaxation in COVID, they are planning the inauguration ceremony in physical mode. So I believe that very soon NIT Rourkela will be also established. So this is the total scenario. We have 7 and then another 8 student chapters. Apart from this, we have getting requests from different colleges that we want to establish the student chapter. To be very honest, on sitting on the chair of SME India section, I won't comment on anything that is not fruitful for the chapter. So I genuinely suggest all the student chapters that it is non-profit organization. You should look after what are the benefits you can get from SME. And I have shared those information to all the student chapters that they can take and carry on. That I have mentioned few of them in the next slide. This is the current office bearer. We have Vice Chair Dr. Bashanta Prusti from IIT Kharagpur, and we have the support of Professor Dheeraj Kumar as faculty advisor, Abani R as international advisor, Akash as secretary. So this is the one slide I have presented, and I always brief this to all the student members. There is, apart from networking, there is the mining engineering, which is the official publication of SME. You can put your whatever the technical articles. There is SME community page. To be very honest, I was not able to interact with the many industry leaders, but SME community has made that very easy. Even with the CEO of Rio Tinto to BHP Bulletin, most of the foreign country, they are the member of SME because this is one of the largest organization in mining. So they all are very active in SME community. Simply you can understand it is the Facebook page of mining community if you are looking forward for networking and professional development. Apart from these, there are a lot of short courses and webinar. Student competition has been framed up. It is indeed an honor to state that IIT Kharagpur has last 2 years back backed that student design competition. And that was a proud moment for Indian mining industry. Apart from this, there are publication and resource section. You can get all those technical articles. I must mention on this platform that there are several awards and scholarship that are being granted by SME. And those scholarship and awards are not just based on the name. Like I am sitting on this chair, so my name they are not giving. There is some technical qualification, there is some SOP, there are some assessment tool. They want to judge you, your caliber in mining industry, what is your scope, how you can make changes in industry. So based on that, they are judging and they are selecting the students for the scholarship. Recent now also there has been a lot of improvement in this regard. And regarding the same for award, so these are the basic information already I have shared with all the student chapters separately. Since this is the current platform mainly for technical fest, I won't go in detail since we are getting short of time. This is for the one slide for student chapter activities. There are a lot of awards like Outstanding Student Chapter Award from India. Only IIT ISM Student Chapter Award backed this award. That was very challenging. This was mainly on the basis of what are the events being conducted, what are the technical writing, what are the team leadership. So on based of that, IIT ISM backed this award on 2017. So it was the global award out of 66 student chapter. IIT ISM Dhanbad was selected. GM Student Chapter Award, no student chapter from India has received yet. MSc Student Chapter also nil. Student Design Competition IIT Kharagpur has backed one time. So I request all the student members who are from the different colleges, please use this platform to make a challenge and make a global benchmark to at least back some of these awards. So if you need any further help or assistance about SME, please let us know, or whatever your suggestion we can improve. I won't take much more time. Once again, I thank all of you for giving your valuable time. I just thank all the dignitaries for joining this session, and I thank the coordinator and the team of Khanan'21. Thank you very much. Hand over to host, Mike, please.
Thank you, sir. Next, I request Dr. Abani R, Samal, sir, International Advisor of SME India Section and an alumnus of IIT ISM Dhanbad, to kindly share his thoughts.
Share my slides, please. I have 5 or 10 slides.
Pritam sir, you can stop presenting your screen. Pritam sir. Pritam sir, you can please stop presenting your screen.
Please see if you can hear.
Host, if you can stop this presentation.
Shivendra, can you allow me? Okay, thank you. Shivendra, you can see it, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, the organizers of Khanan. It is again such a great pleasure to be with you. Even though it's virtual, it's close to midnight here, where I sit here in Salt Lake City in US. Thank you, all the students in here, and thanks Rajiv sir, the director of ISM, Murthy sir, Mishra sir, Dheeraj sir, and for allowing me to share my views in here. I must have to thank SME and their staff and President Bill to, whichever way they could. They are trying to help this chapter anyway. Believe me or not, there are a few things had to happen to get that video even. While like Bill is in constant move, just because he's the president of SME and the leader of another organization where he works. It was such a great pleasure hearing actually all the good things in general, but particularly Sunil sir and Mr. Ravi Arora talking about ISM and students, the way they perform, and the faculties that we are proud of. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Hari, for this technical presentation. What I decided to talk about, I think this is very close to my heart, is talk about leadership. I think this may be another time I'm talking about it. My title would be, let's go beyond Lemmy. Guys, when you go to a meeting or talking to someone, right, you have been in a situation where you beg for your turn, right? Hey, let me do it for you. I think Rohit is enjoying the music there. So the point is, we always beg for the permission, right, to get things done. But I guess we don't need that permission to do things that we want to do, even as a student. See, you already installed, you already actually are making this a part of the history. The fantastic installment of Khanan again. Congratulations to all of you. We didn't actually need the permission to set this up. This is great, right? We see leaders in you. You all are already leaders. Leaders don't wait for someone else to let them do the things. They go ahead. They don't wait for it. They act. They don't think about it. They act. That's what, and whoever has done it has become a leader. I'm not talking about being a manager of people, being a leader in the industry. Don't ask for permission to do. What I'm saying here, I'm not saying that we don't ask for permission to do something that you're socially obliged to or the institution requires you to do. You have to ask for permission to do certain things. However, do you ask for the permission to go to smoke? If you actually you went to the side room and did do that, didn't you? Did you ask for the permission to go to cinema? You did not. Why to ask for permission to write an exam? Why to ask for permission to do something innovative? Start your own own entity. Think beyond what someone else has done. Like I'm hearing actually, many professors now at the Indian School of Mines, you have your own incubator centers now. Even participate in there. Do think beyond it. Don't ask for permission. Don't ask for permission to share your idea. That's what I mean. Okay, it's just like don't think that we'll do it. Well, maybe tomorrow. Please don't. Just do it. Just do it. If the idea comes to you, please act on it. The reason I say that, I have myself sat on ideas. I regret it actually. I suffer a lot. I'm not going to say the way I did, but in general, I can say procrastination is a bad thing. Okay. Yes, at times you take time actually, sit on it, some ideas, just to get it matured, and think about what you're working on it. Don't let the idea die. Procrastination lets the idea die. It's a bad thing. Do it today. If you have to go to library, find an article and do your paper, do it now. It's everything digital today, isn't it? No one is stopping you. No one is stopping you. Don't ask for permission to do good things. Industry needs you, and you're ready to lead. all the time from the beginning. Industry needs more leaders. We have a bunch of managers in the industry. What we are lacking is leaders who can take responsibilities. The example, I'll give you an example. Working with the client company here, they screwed up in the production. Okay, they know it, but take the responsibilities. Be accountable for the tax given to you. And at the same time, what I've not put in that list is be proud of your contribution, be proud of it, and take some time off if you need to. You don't have to work 24/7. Those times are gone. Quality over quantity is going to be the future. It's not going to be to do a lot of work. Yes, you'll be working all the time, but quality is where the stress is going to be. Set examples, don't wait for one. For example, what I mean by that is, well, sir, no one told me how to do it. I have never seen actually anyone doing it. No, no one has to. No one has to. There's examples all around. Why don't you do it and show us how to do the things? It will not be an exaggeration if I say that I always, today, I always look at the younger generation technocrats to learn more things, because they have already set the example in the areas where I have no proficiency, nothing. I got to learn from them. Find a way to get to the end point. Don't wait to be told. What I mean by that is, if you have a project, you have to make that robot to get the Khanan. Please do it. Don't wait for someone else to tell you that, hey, let's do that. No, you got to be proactive and make that happen. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. Every one of you. You don't work to be recognized. Your work, you are recognized for your work. You don't work to get an hour. You win the hour for the work that you have done. So we really have to do a lot of things by ourselves to prove that, you are worth that hour, that recognition, whatever, that really comes to you. You don't go for it. You don't really, I know there are a bunch of people, they would go for it, for that a particular hour, for a particular citation or something. Things happen. But my challenge to you guys is, for all the students out there, please do your work, focus on your work, and do contribute to it. And you will see the recognition comes to you. You don't need to succeed all the time. Accept the fact that, hey, you know what? I did not do well. I couldn't do it. Go find your professor. Sir, this is difficult. I couldn't do it. I failed drastically. Then only you can get help. Ask for help. Like I think Sunil Singh sir was talking about, Pritam was talking about, the resources all around. There's no excuse today. I guess at that time when I was in school, there are a bunch of excuses. Sir, we can find the things in the library or somewhere else. But now there's no excuses. There are resources available. You got to ask for help. And once you ask for help, you'll see amazing things happen. You can't even believe the type of help that you will get. It will be really amazing. I experience that on a constant basis because I've learned it in a hard way. Ask for help. Go learn yourself. There's something new, right? There's a programming language that may be new. There may be something else is actually coming in the technology that's new. Maybe there's a new mining method you have never heard of. That's new. Go learn yourself. Don't ask for permission. Those things, don't say that, let me do it. You do it by yourself. Be genuine. Be yourself. You will grow consistently for a longer period of time. And those people, what I'm saying also, that if you have seen people like jumping very quickly, right, at a very younger age. So wow, you measure the success by amount of money he has earned or the bigger flat he has made. Probably that's not all. If you consistently work and be genuine, you will see your slope of growth never stops. It may be slow, but it always grows. Everyone has something good in yourself, in himself or herself. Everyone is good at something. Discover yourself what you're good at. Someone else may be actually good at mining machinery. You don't have to. You may be good at acting. You may be good at advising someone. You may be good at programming something. Find what you're good at. And the way you find it, you'll see that you do that thing, whatever that is. You feel joy inside you. You never leave the library. You don't leave the computer because you're doing that thing that keeps you intact. And it's not just one thing. Sometimes you'll say, wow, I like three things actually. And many of you do have more than one thing you're good at. Please find it and do it by yourself. You don't have a team to get things done? No problem. Actually, you don't need a team. You get started, you'll see the people join you. Hey, Shivendra, how can I help you? Because you took the first step. You took the first step. That is proactive action. Please do it by yourself. Start it. Don't wait for someone. Be a good professional, please. Be a part of Khanan. Be part of the student chapter. Be part of the section. Be part of the SME. Be part of the mining societies in India itself. And be part of the department. Help the department. Help the volunteer there. Sir, can we help you? Is there some way we can be of assistance to the department? It pays back in a longer term. And it pays back in a way that you have never thought of. Give your time, please. That is volunteerism. Volunteerism doesn't necessarily tell you that, hey, I volunteered to give you two hours. I did it. I did a great job. Yes, you did a great job. When you volunteer, that means some other people are actually waiting for your assistance. Please show up and do the work. That is a highly responsible work. Because volunteerism, in volunteerism, actually, you are not a boss, but you are a boss of everyone. Of all the volunteers, you become a genuine leader. Be part of the committees. You will be the chair of the committee, be the leader there. You will see no one reports to you. Everyone reports to everyone. That's a perfect way to start your leadership. Do the work on time, stay up to date, stay focused. The last thing, don't take any shortcuts, please. Bites you back. Bites you back. Do not take any shortcuts to get something, get to the end points. That may not happen. We lead together. I don't know if you are aware of, or familiar with this picture. This is the slide. The slide happened in the Bingham Canyon mine. It's only 6 miles from my backyard. 440, I believe, million tons of material flew like liquid from the top of from one side of Bingham Canyon mine, and it dumped at the bottom of the mine. It took about a year or so to come back, the mine to become fully fully productive. That means at the full capacity. But guess what? The started production, that is waste removal, in the 7th day. That's a fantastic example of how all these guys, many of them are young guys, about 30 years or around that age group, they work together to bring this gigantic mine into operation within 7 days. I was an employee of that great company at that time. Every one of us were on alert to provide help. I have seen how the world poured into that mine to help all one there, bringing the mine together. How? That mine provides copper, gold, silver, and close to $500 million worth material to the world today. We all live together. And don't please confine yourself to any geography, your state, your country, or anything. Think global. Today is a global world, isn't it? Think global and grow together. Be passionate. Show your 100% passionate, like Sunil Singh said. Okay? Be crazy about the things that you do. Thank you all. Appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor Arvind Kumar Mishra, sir, Head of Department of Mining Engineering, IIT ISM Dhanbad, to share his experiences and wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Kamadi. Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. So good morning, everyone. It's really a bright and beautiful day here today. Yesterday it was raining in me. So we have with us our Honorable Director, Sir, Professor Rajiv Shekhar, Shri Ravi Arora ji, Dr. Abani, who is in the middle of his night, we have kept him awake and he has given up his time and a fantastic presentation. So really thankful to you, Dr. Abani, Mr. Pritam Sinha, Mr. Hari Narayan Pandey, Mr. Anirban Sen, Mr. Sunil Singh, Professor Dheeraj, and we had a video of Mr. Bill as well. So thanks to all dignitaries who are present in this event. I'm also thankful to all other respected faculty members who have joined us, respected alumni, and dear students. I'm really excited and thrilled to be part of this event, Khanan 2021, which will be filled with action, adventure, gaming, and many more. I must tell you, this is one of the largest tech fest which is being organized in the country on mining and allied areas, conducted by SME Student Chapter, IIT ISM Dhanbad. I have been informed that around 20 institutions are participating in this event, and more than 500 students will be participating. So I think this is one of the largest mining event being organized in the country. So thanks to SME Student Chapter and SME as well. This is a youth tech fest. When we say youth, the kind of picture, which is usually drawn in our head or mind is cheerful, creative, full of energy, dynamic, always ready to take up the challenge, looking for solutions rather discussing on problems, always joyful, always ready to work in group, ready to help each other, even in the adverse conditions, and lead from front. So this is what is the picture which we get in when we talk about youth. And of our age, if you talk about us, in a group, when we'll be sitting in together, they will be talking about, how am I going to plan in my pension? And this guy or this prime minister should have been doing this way or that way. So that's the basic difference of youth and the elderly guys. And it was the youth of the country who helped us to move across the pandemic and kept the country and society moving. They were there to help us at hospitals, at different process. They were there to help us, in various processes, providing food, providing medicine, and providing help to the society. So it was youth who was there to help us. During these 3 days, you will learn about planning and designing. There will be a lot of paper presentations, quizzes, robotic design, case studies. You learn about digitization, automation, application of AI and machine learning in mining, climate neutral mining, net zero mining, clean energy, opportunities for job creation, ideas on entrepreneurship, women empowerment, circular economy in mining, waste to wealth, economic stability of mining entity, and other areas. This event will definitely provide you an opportunity to meet with the industry leaders and with other students as well. Share your learnings and acquire new ideas, and the kind of creativity which I had seen among the youth, among the students. I am pretty sure at the end of the event, you will have heaps of takeaways with you, which you will cherish throughout your life. Another very important aspect of it would be, I think you will learn that your tomorrow will be written by you. You will be what you wish to be. So I think this is what there will be a lot of learnings for you. And with this, I think I would like to, already we are lagging behind. So with this, I'll come, I would like to stop myself, and I wish you all the best. My best wishes for the grand success of the event. Have a wonderful day. I thank everyone who is present here. Jai Hind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request everyone. Yes, sir.
Yes, Kamadi, you can continue.
Now I request everyone to switch on their cameras for a while.
Okay, Kamadi, you can continue.
Sorry. Now I request Professor Rajiv Shekhar, sir, patron of SME IIT ISM Dhanbad and director of IIT ISM Dhanbad,
good morning
to
to all
kindly
of
share
you.
his thoughts and advice.
The last thing these youngsters need are advice. That is one thing I've learned from my children and the students I interact with. I'll just give pointers. First of all, it gives me great pleasure to thank all the dignitaries from the industry, JSW, Epiroc, Sandvik, etc., who have agreed to grace this occasion. I'm also grateful to the student chapter of SME for continuing to organize this event with great gusto. And also welcome my colleagues, students, faculty, my colleagues, students, and other participants in Khanan' 2021. You know, I grew up in the coal fields, and I'm talking about 70s. Those days, it was very common to see miners with their helmet and cap lamp go inside with their picks and shovel. And they would break the coal through their pick, and through the shovel, they would collect it and put it in a basket, which they would load on their head and go to a common dumping area. Now the basics have changed. Basics have remained the same, but the mechanism has changed completely. Now that pick is replaced by a continuous miner, for example, you have big mechanized shovels or excavators, and you now have up to 600-ton dumpers that take the coal from one place to another. So my friends, mining has changed completely. In fact, it was not the mining that was known earlier. We have, as some of our speakers said, there is a lot of digitization in mining. And as our esteemed speaker from San Francisco had said, you may be reading about the death knell of the mining industry in newspapers. But as he has rightly pointed out, even if you go into the electric era, there is a need for metals. And these metals can only come through mining. Now, when it comes to energy, yes, renewables will occupy a greater share of the portfolio. But with the increasing requirement of energy in this country, as our growth expands, coal and gas would still be around. So you are in for, as I say, a very exciting journey. I remember, when I was in 1977, because of my rank, I got metallurgy. It was not my preferred choice. I know mining is also not a preferred choice for many of you. But the good thing is mining has changed completely. And I'll give you some examples. There is a lot of AI. There is a lot of ML. There is a lot about sensors. There is a lot about wireless communication. And you'll be surprised to know that you can communicate millions of kilometers away with Mars. But underground, you go 100 meters underground in a coal mine, you cannot communicate wirelessly. So these are the challenges. And who's going to take care of these challenges? As somebody also pointed out, the future is in your hands. In fact, many of the students go, despite their branches, they go into consultancy, finance, software, and of the routine type. It's not they're doing, making something like SAP or coming up with new technologies for banking, etc. So I'm reminded of this line. You all know Steve Jobs. In late 80s, Steve Jobs was looking for a CEO to run Apple. And he met John Scully. He shortlisted John Scully, who was at that time, I think, CEO of or president of Pepsi. And then, John was a little reluctant to come into computers because he was all along in marketing, and beverages and computers are completely different ballgame. And then Steve Jobs came up with those immemorable lines. John, do you want to sell sugar water all your life, or you want to come with me and change the world? In fact, as you will see, the world has already changed. In India, we are lagging behind. And these are very exciting times. And right now, what we have, as if you look, the way the core curriculum is also changing, it is not only about mining methods. It's about technologies that increase productivity, improve safety, and increase environmental friendliness or increases sustainability. And what do I expect from you, young guns? I would say young guns. I'll give you an example of a technology. In 1953, all of you would have taken a course on geology. So whenever you're talking of mining, it is important to know the geological substructure below. But how do you do that? Do you actually dig? That is the easiest way. No, it's very expensive. So Exxon came up with a technology where they put sound waves in, and based from the reflected sound waves, they could create 3D images of the geological substructure. It is simply amazing. It is something which is very difficult for us to visualize. And now, with the advent of advanced visualization technologies, high performance computing, when they combined with their method that they discovered, invented in 1953, now they have a complete visualization. They can even predict what is the fracture profile inside a rock, way below that we cannot see. This is something what we expect. Now, let me start from mine design. When you're talking of mine design, you're talking of the other thing that has changed is now we are on software-based mine design, and many of you who have been students here and many of you who will be continuing would be exposed to mine designing software like Minex, Serpac, and DataMine. And use of these software is great, but what is greater is how do you integrate this with mapping technologies for planning or as per land use pattern. So this is a very exciting part. And there are numerous other examples. When you start mining, the first thing is you do blasting. But do you know that only 15% of the explosive energy is used in mining? So what is the need of the R? You want to model explosion. You want to model explosion in such a way so that you can predict what is the size distribution of the rock fragments. And this requires a lot of, this not only requires basic knowledge about it, also requires knowledge about machine learning techniques. The very interesting examples. These machines are very expensive. If you look at these excavators, it's tens of crores. So you want to, or these dumpers, several tens of crores. So what you want is, you want them to be available and utilized to the maximum possible extent. And this is where sensors, IoT, and machine learning come, so that tell you in advance, okay, the state of the machine. It appears that the machine is going to fail in 3 months. So you have time to buy spares, and hence the machine will always be in operation. And the other thing, as I always say, even though we are engineers, we tend to ignore some of the problems that we encounter in the mining operations. So in the open cast mining, for example, the heavy earth machinery drivers have very limited visibility, and it causes accidents. And there are great examples for that. Everybody has heard about Tesla. Everybody has heard about autonomous cars. And what Tesla uses is it uses as a base a deep neural network algorithm, and integrated with this is images coming from cameras and ultrasonic sensors. And then obviously you have a machine learning algorithm to process data so that ultimately the driver gets a complete 360-degree view of the environment around them. And when it comes to monitoring, now with remote sensing technologies, you can figure out what is the extent of the mine. In fact, determining the mine boundaries, whether they have not infringed on the actual mine boundary that was allocated by the government, you can do that by drone. It's a very difficult job. You can also use remote sensing technologies to see whether mining has infringed into no-go areas such as forests. You can also monitor the movement of each and every machinery and human being through geotagging. So, and when you come to underground mine, see, what we expect is in the next 10, 20 years, there'll mostly be underground mining, because the open cast mining would reach its limit. And the moment you go to underground mining, let's say a kilometer deep, it's all about safety. You want productivity, you want safety. So you don't want minimum human being inside. As somebody rightly pointed out, what I've heard in Rio Tinto mines, the number of actual workers is very small compared to what you see in our Indian mines. Even all those big dumpers and machineries are operated remotely. So this is the new excitement in mine. So when you talk of underground mining, essentially it's all about automation and autonomous operation. So, and it's all about sensors. Many of you know that you can have explosions due to the presence of explosive gases such as methane. you can have CEO, etc. So you have tremendous opportunities to develop. Sensors are already there. You have to develop robots, and any of you, a lot of you must have seen Star Wars. Star Wars was and before that there was a series called Star Trek. You see those series, they were so futuristic, and though they showed you the importance of robots, those robots you will see in underground. Who will build these robots? Mining engineers will have a role to play, because we need people who understand mining, who understand electronics, who understand machine learning, who understand sensors, who understand wireless communication. And this is what we expect students from IIT ISM to be good at. And finally, I would say that at IIT ISM, we are going to the next frontier, which is seabed mining. The sea is an enormous repository of useful minerals, and many of which would be necessary in the digital age and the renewable age. How do you get it? You can't expect human beings to work, let's say, 500 meters deep or 1 kilometer deep at 50 atmosphere pressure and virtually no oxygen. So the only recourse is automation and autonomous operation. You talk about environment. Can you think of a situation in Dhanbad, if you are there, one of the major problem is particulate pollution due to open cast mining that comes from blasting or actually mining operation or transporting operations. So there, can you visualize a situation where you have a sensor network which monitors, and I'm talking of cheap sensors, sensor networks which monitor the pollution concentration, and the moment it goes above a certain value, automatic action would take place, like water spray coming on and reducing the quantity of dust, or okay. So what I am trying to say through these examples is the future of mining is very great. Mining is not only about traditional mining, it has changed completely. And I expect all you students during your stay in IIT or any technical institute, please make use of your time and become all-rounders. You can only succeed if you are all-rounders. And finally, I want to again re-emphasize what Steve Jobs told to Scully. Do you want to just write software code, or you want to make a name and change the mining code? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. So with this, we come to the end of the ceremony. I, on behalf of the whole Khanan'21 team, would like to extend a really hearty vote of thanks and gratitude to all our esteemed guests of honor who spared their time from their busy schedule to grace the occasion. Thank you all the honorable dignitaries present at the inauguration: Shri Sunil Singh, Vice President Mines, JSW; Shri Anirban Sen, Underground Business Manager, Asia Pacific and India, Epiroc Mining India Ltd; Shri Hari Narayan Pandey, Industry Process Consultant Manager, Dassault Systemes; Shri Ravi Arora, Head of Marketing and CSR, Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology India Private Limited; Shri K. Madhusudan Sir, President MEAI; Shri Hemant Kumar Sir, Executive Director NLCIL, to grace us with their presence. I must mention our deep sense of gratitude to Mr. Bill Edgerton, President SME International, for sharing with us his valuable words through the recorded video and giving us the time despite all the technical issues. We are really grateful to our Honorable Director, Sir Professor Rajiv Shekhar, for his presidential speech, Professor Dheeraj Kumar, Faculty Advisor, SME IIT Student Chapter, Professor A.K. Mishra, HOD Department of Mining Engineering, Dr. Abani R. Samal, International Advisor, SME India Section, Mr. Pritam Sinha, Chairman, SME India Section, for their constant support and guidance throughout the Khanan'21. Finally, I would like to express my gratitude to our title sponsor, Sandvik Mining and Rock Technology, our platinum sponsors, Dassault Systemes, ONGC, and NMDC, our gold sponsors JSW, MCL, and WCL, our silver sponsor Epiroc Mining India Ltd, the gifting partners Box and Engineers Parcel, without whom the fest would not have been conducted to this extent. So we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. I would like to pass my warm thanks to all the audience for their significant presence. Thanks for all for joining the inauguration ceremony. Thank you. We can leave connect.
Thank you, everyone. All can leave now.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.